And Julie. It's
Hey,
Tuesday Night Live, 7 p.m. Eastern, and wherever else you're dialing in from. Julie, just hit me as we're went live. When was the last time we did this together?
it's probably been about a month or so, I would say.
It's been a couple months, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you've just been going at it solo, which is fine.
Well, we've had a ton of partners to showcase, and we
Absolutely.
want to we wanted to give everybody, and we got a bunch more to do, but today it's back, you and I, the original cast, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. And Shane's already beat us to the punch. So we love to ask where you guys are from. Of course, Shane is in Cumming, Georgia. Actually, where I was born and raised. Jim Brown and Dahlonega, where I currently live. Gosh, everybody that's saying where they live is right here. There's so many more of you on. Where is everybody from? We got Brad in Marietta, Bingham, New York, Binghampton. Eric, that's Eric. Gordon from Delaware. We just like to kind of see where everybody is. It's kind of neat to see, to be able to connect with you guys, on a personal level like this on a Tuesday night and be from all over across the country. I know it's 2020, but it still blows my mind. We got Chicago from Jesus, um, Indiana, Byram, Connecticut, Russell from Buffalo, New York, Gloria from New York, Portland and Gresham, Oregon, Jose from New Jersey. So glad to have you. I know, Jose, you just put you're a new partner in the program. Glad to have you, man. I was glad to actually, I think we did it in an onboarding call for Dill Dridven today, and that was the first time I got to physically see you. Welcome, Alex from Austin, Michael from Dallas, Texas coming in all at one time. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Lonnie. Yeah, I haven't heard that one in a minute. Eugene from Chicago. Love Eugene. We've been working with Eugene. We started over a year ago, right, Peter?
Yeah, and actually, we're talking about partners being on these webinars. We had Eugene showcasing a deal that we closed, I think about a month ago. We had him on one of these.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, absolutely. Good times. I still have this goal, Julie, and I don't know how it's possible. I'm sure it's possible. I don't know how you track it. One night, and we may have done it already, I don't know, but one night I'd love to have all 50 states represented. I know we tend to have, like, for some reason, certain states get more, but it'd be cool, one night, cool, like across the board, every state be represented. That's like my personal goal.
You know what would be really cool now that we're talking about goals, and for those of you that don't know Peter and I, we're kind of action takers. So I've got an action step for you, Peter. So
Tell me.
also one new thing is Peter and I were moving our office from one county to the next, just to honestly probably make it easier on me and some of our staff. But why don't we get like a big map of the US and then put little dots where everybody's from? That would be really cool.
I think it would be cool. The closest thing that you did like that, Julie got at the office we're still in, Julie got a fish tank. That's one of these, not like a little fish tank, but a huge fish tank. And weren't you going to do like every fish in there was a partner?
Yes. Yeah, and it didn't work out good because it was a brand new tank and they were dying, and I couldn't be having partners fish in there and them just be floating on the top.
Yeah,
So
I think pinning something on the map is a little bit easier to track and keep on top of.
yeah, it was a good concept, but not a good action plan, I would say. But that's life.
I guess so. I just couldn't figure out how you're gonna, like, literally identify the fish and remember that little fish with that little marker, that's this partner and that partner and all that. But anyway, well, guys, we're excited to have you guys on board. We're gonna get started here in just about a minute or so. Hope you guys are settled in. We do different things, different topics. Today is something that you guys are gonna definitely learn from. We're going to talk about a big concept, and then Julie's going to give you some, like, real meat behind it. So if you're trying to figure out, is this one you just kind of kick back and listen, or grab a piece of paper and write, I'm telling you, tonight, take some notes. take some notes that we're going to give you some real life stuff that will have a direct impact on what it is you do and how you do it, and will definitely help you in this real estate business. So that's kind of how we're going to roll tonight. Get started here in about a minute or so. We got a bunch of people jumping on. Very, very excited to have you guys.
Yeah, let me show everybody, and you may or may not care, but I'm going to show you anyway. But back here on this wall, I've kind of moved my location, but I want to show you guys some things. This and all of these things back here, well, most of these things are little treasures that I found doing flip properties, believe it or not. So at one place we got I found all of these wooden ducks, and yeah, Gordon said, does it double as a phone? Do you remember back in the day they had these phones like this? Peter, do you know what I'm talking about? The ones you hold and.
Oh yeah. No, I do. Now that you did this, now you did the thing there, and I'm like, yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah. So I'm kind of glad to be back in my original location. I look back there and I start thinking about deals, just little different things that we've picked up over the years. But glad to have you tonight. And really, the thing is without knowing what we're going to be talking about tonight, I feel like, and there's, maybe difference of opinions here, but I feel like this particular thing that we're going to talk about tonight, Peter, is the milestone or the cornerstone of this business. Being able to market to your sellers. I mean, if you don't know how to market to a seller and talk to a seller, you're not going to be finding that's the way I like to find deals. But you're not going to be flipping houses or wholesaling or doing, what have you on the back end if you don't know how to do what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Yeah, no question. This is, every once in a while, and you hear me talk about it. Every once in a while, we do a topic which we're getting into right now, and about ready to get into. It's a game changer. For instance, there's things that we've talked about in this business that are not necessarily game changers. They're important. We've talked about raising money. We've talked about the flow of deals. We've talked about, how to work with contractors the right way. And, those are all important things. But in the end, look, I'm 20-year veteran in this business. I have no idea how to work with contractors to this day. And, I've done fairly well. But the topic at hand today is a must-have. This is an absolute one of these, a couple things in this business are absolutely must have. And that's what we're going to talk to you guys about tonight. And Julie's right. We're going to talk to you about marketing, sellers, connecting with sellers, marketing to sellers, and all that. Before we do that, I kind of like to bring everybody up to speed every week in terms of just really talk to you guys about who you all are as far as it relates to us. Because, the one thing Julie and I have been consistently doing is these Tuesday night webinars. There's things that we change inside our business, inside our model constantly. Anybody that owns a business knows that, business has certain things, and there's certain things you change, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's certain things in every business that just kind of remain the same. They're like the hallmark. McDonald's introduced all these different sandwiches and different meals. And, I think one time they went down this healthy route, but the one thing that changed, their fries, they have not changed, So every business kind of has some staples. Coke has experimented with many different products, and some things worked well, some things didn't, but Coca-Cola still works brilliantly, and they don't mess with that formula. They don't experiment with it. Well, that's kind of how we treat Tuesday nights. This is one thing that Julie and I have been doing forever and ever, and we just don't deviate from it. And we don't deviate for a couple of reasons. One, from a perspective of people that find out about us, we've learned that tons and tons and tons of people who ultimately end up in our world, this is how they find out about us, through these Tuesday night webinars, whether it's a live presentation, whether it's a recording, but we know this is to a certain degree, it's our personal gateway to the world. It's Julie and I chatting, Julie and I just kind of battering back and forth, letting people know who we are. So that's an important piece. We know this is a focal point for us to just let people who don't really even know us, or maybe know us from a little bit from the side, to show them who we are, what we do, and really for them to make a decision. Are we somebody that they want to be a part of? Are we the organization that they want to align themselves with? Are we the kind of people that they want to, do real estate deals with? Because in the end, that's what we're all about. We are a real estate investment company. We've been doing that longer than we've been doing anything. We've been buying real estate, fixing real estate, renting real estate, selling real estate, contracting real estate, you name it. Anything that could be done with real estate, we have done, and we have done it to the tune of thousands and thousands of real estate deals. And just somewhere along the line, we changed our model from a perspective of being our own real estate investment company to a perspective of working with partners across the United States and doing real estate deals with them. And so that's the first group here tonight. Some of you guys, you are not our partners. You're just checking us out. You hear about the messaging, you hear about the opportunity to partner with us, and you just want to you want to get comfortable with us. You want to get comfortable with the model. Can you trust us? Do we even know when it comes to real estate what the heck we're doing? And so our mission for those of you that are not our partners, we make no beef about it. We would love for you to be our partners. Very, 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 very simple. I mean, we are an investment company and we buy real estate. And at this point, if we don't have partners to partner with, we'd be in a lot of trouble. We kind of went all in on this partner model. So for those of you that are not yet our partners, again, the goal is to hopefully for you to partner with us and start doing deals. And I don't want to spend a lot of time explaining what that looks like tonight, but you could get all the information you need at www.partnerdriven.com. But basically, if you do become a partner, you get access to us literally on a daily basis. You get access to the unbelievable technology that, by the way, we're going to be talking about here shortly. We help you with lead generation. We obviously provide capital. Our construction team helps you fix properties. We sell them, split the profits. That is our partner-driven model. And if that makes sense to you and you're like, wow, that sounds pretty cool, then just check us out more at www.partnerdriven.com. The other set of groups that's here tonight, you guys already are our partners. You guys are like knee deep with us. Some of you guys have already done deals with us. Some of you all are in the middle of doing deals with us. Some of you guys may be just getting started, right? And we're so glad you guys are here. This is just kind of like what we call cherry on top. You get like the whole kit and caboodle being a partner. But on top of that, on Tuesday night, you're kind of like me. 20 years ago when I got started and I was really screwing things up to no end, losing everything I had, I finally ran into a couple of guys that ultimately kind of became my pseudo mentors, and I hung on every word they said. Everywhere they were at, I was there. Every time they were speaking, I was in the audience. Every time I had a chance to be around them, because they became my life in this business. They kind of became my lifeblood in this whole thing. And so for those of you guys that are partners here tonight, you guys know exactly what my message is to you. It's, you're going to reset, recharge, recommit, and you're going to take the information we're going to give you tonight and you're going to utilize it and get yourself to the next level. Okay. So those are the two contingencies that are here tonight. So let's talk. Guys. We are here to discuss about marketing, talking to sellers and all this. And it's kind of what I said a couple minutes ago. There are some things in this business that I always tell people, you got to have your hand in it. Okay. There's some things that you have to understand. There's some things you can't get around. Like, for instance, let me give you an example. Like, I always make fun of myself because I don't understand construction. So like the obvious thing that people say is, well, Pete, yeah, now you can align yourself with the right construction outfit. Now you can afford to pay somebody to do this, now. But Pete, like 20 years ago, how did you shortcut the system of contracting? Like, how did you build this business when you really had no money and you didn't understand construction and all this? Well, simple. In this business, there's things you could do that literally cut construction out. Like, there's strategies like a wholesaling strategy, right? You could do wholesaling and you don't have to really know and understand anything about contracting. You will never go on the line when it comes to contracting, because in certain strategies in this, or you could focus on pretty houses, or you could focus on creative deals where you just basically take over people's deals and that don't need fixing. So there's strategies and techniques in this business that allow you to literally avoid contracting, right? You could be arguing the same thing on raising capital. I mean, I really didn't have to raise capital for the first 5, 6 years in this business, right? Because there's professional outfits out there that can give a newbie access to capital. They're called hard money lenders and stuff like that. So there's facets of this business that no matter what position you're in, like beginner, intermediate, or advanced, you don't have to perfect. And some you never have to get good at. But the one thing I always tell people, there are a couple things in this business that you better know what the heck you're doing. Because you can't shortcut them. You know, if you're brand new, talking to sellers, connecting with sellers, good luck shortcutting that. You know, show me a technique or strategy where you don't need to do that, right? Wholesaling, you better do that. Fix and flips, you better do that. Buying holds, you better do that. Creative deals, you better do that. Houses, you better do that. Land, you better do that. So like any technique, any strategy, any type of real estate, you literally cannot avoid this concept of connecting with sellers and talking to them and, you know, negotiating deals with them. Okay. So if you're gonna, you know, one thing I always tell people is don't just like study this business, because you could study this business till the cows come home. I mean, literally, you could be on the internet doing research 40 hours a week. You could be reading books and listening to tapes 40 hours a week. And so that's what happens to a lot of people. They just overanalyze, overstudy, and then never do anything. But the one thing that if you do carve time out for learning and growing in this business and getting better, it's what we're going to talk to you guys about today. This is the one thing that he'll have, because A, you can't avoid it. Two, it has an immediate impact on your income, right? If you don't know how to connect to sellers, talk to sellers, market to sellers, what can you do? I mean, you really can't do much, right? That is like the hallmark of this business. It is like the entryway into every deal, and it's the most important part of not only this business, but every deal. So this is the one part you really, really want to get better at and get good at. And so, you know, what I'm really also excited about, there's two sides of everything, is especially as it relates to real estate. There's understanding something, like getting good at it, right? But there's also like using technology or tools to implement it, right? So what I'm really also tremendously excited about tonight is that not only are we going to talk to you and share with you, and by the way, guys, I'm just still kind of in a mode of selling you of how important this is. I think you get that. But tonight, not only are we going to share with you how to talk to sellers, connect to sellers, market sellers, and all that, we're going to share with you the tool that we have here that allows you to do that. Because the other thing about this whole concept of connecting, talking to, and all this, it's not just like a skill set. It could be a pretty darn burdensome thing to do. I mean, there's pieces you got to put together. There's different techniques and strategies that, like, one strategy, you got to get all your information here. You take another strategy, you got to get it all here. But the cool thing is that we put together a tool that allows you to do all of this stuff under one roof. And so not only do we feel like we really got really nailed down on how to do this correctly, but we really feel like we really got this thing nailed down because we got the tool. We got the tool to help you implement it correctly. So Julie, I'm going to flip it over to you. And by the way, when it comes to any subject, like, you know, obviously Julie's done as much as she's done, and, you know, we've been together forever and ever doing stuff. I will tell you, just like all of us have like certain skill sets where we're a little bit better, I will tell you, I have never seen anyone as good at this skill set than Julie. And I'll take it, and I think Julie will agree, this is her like ultimate skill set. I mean, she understands every facet of business. We've been through it backwards and forwards, you know, thousands of times. But this is the one skill set that she has literally like mastered to the nth degree. And so you're literally learning and seeing like the best. This is the best I've seen. And I've seen tons of people do this. Like in my 20-year career, I've seen tons and tons and tons. So Julie, I'm going to flip it over to you. I'm going to pop in there, kind of interject there, ask you some questions along the way, but Tell us what you got.
Okay, so well, I want to make sure everybody knows where the chat is inside of Zoom, because this is a live webinar. So by the way, if you are on Zoom, you can put anything in the chat. I will see it. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and feel free to put something in the chat there, and I may work on that later. But what I want to ask you guys is this: who on this call tonight is afraid to make seller calls? I mean, and please be honest, because we've all been there, right? And having a little bit of self-awareness makes life a little bit easier, right? But who on this call, right now is like, man, I get everything you're saying, and I'm going to go over that with you, but I'm nervous, right? I'm nervous to make these calls. I'm nervous to know what to talk to a seller about, right? Well, tonight, what I would like to do, and I'm not tonight going to be able to help you get over your anxiety completely, but I want to give you a little bit of different perspective on what to say to people and how to feel when you're saying it. Okay. But I want to first off by saying this does anybody on this call like to be sold anything? Right? Nobody loves to be sold. Come on. I mean, when a sale is coming, right? You don't want to be sold. The thing is that you've got to remember is that a lot of you get in this business, and when you start making seller calls, the reason that you feel that you don't like to make these calls, or that you don't want to do this, is because you feel like the sleazy salesperson, don't you? But let's just break it down, in real terms. So the reason that is because you don't want to be that person. Here's a simple solution to that problem. Number one, you are not trying to sell anything. Okay? Remember that. You are not trying to sell nothing. Get that completely out of your mind when you're making these seller calls. What you're really doing is developing relationships. Okay? So who on here is good at building good relationships? Let's say you're going to the store or you're going wherever. Do you feel like you're the type of person that can build a relationship and relate to somebody quickly? Go ahead and put it in the chat now. Absolutely. That's what talking to sellers is about, okay? I know a lot of you are great at talking to people. You're great at that. It's that you're misconstruing the two things, that one, a salesperson or being in sales, and this is two different things. You don't have to be in this business and be a sleazy salesperson. Let me tell you what sellers really want. They want to trust somebody with, by the way, maybe their biggest investment that they actually own. Put yourself in some of these sellers' shoes. Let's say someone unfortunately passed away and gave a home to the next person, to maybe one of their next of kin, right? Their child or their whatever. And that person is not in real estate. They want somebody there that they can trust. They're not necessarily, everybody thinks, oh, I've got to be the biggest and the baddest real estate investor out there, and I've got to present myself like that. Let me tell you, I've done over 1,600 deals, and I'm still just Julie from down the road that wants to help you solve your problems. Somebody, Gordon, I love that comment. Just like Gordon said, you want to be a problem solver. So now that we're talking about the mentality of where we need to be with these calls, right? We're talking about marketing to sellers. I'm going to get to other things, here in a minute. But for me, calling sellers and building a relationship so I can make them an offer, by the way, is the thing that's made me the most money. Because what I know is that not everybody's in real estate. I mean, a lot of you that are on here tonight, you know more than most people in America about real estate. You do. you really want to always be on a playing field with everybody else. You want to explain things in terms, and you don't want to cause people to flee your situation, right? So let me tell you, there are about like two types of people in the world. There are fighters and there are fleers. And let me go ahead and tell you, 90% of the population in any situation in life, what do? Go ahead and put that in the chat now, either on Facebook or right here on Zoom. They flee. You're exactly right. Why do you think anybody flees any situation in life? We're not just talking to sellers. Why does people flee any situation? Diana says fear. Fight or flight. Flee is an easier option. Yes, good job, guys. Keep it coming. Play along with me. It's easy to flee. Fear. Fear of pain. Situation is difficult. You're exactly right. They just don't understand what's going on. When a lot of you see a lot of scripts online, okay, and I totally get it, there's a lot of great ones out there. Everything's all about going straight for the deal, isn't it? Right? There's more to be said than that. Let me tell you what there is more to be said, is that your job on this conversation is not to get a deal. Your job on this conversation, Russell, Joshua, David, all of you guys that are commenting, is to stop someone from fleeing the situation and hanging around with you. So, how do you do that? Think about all the things we just talked about. You don't want someone to be fearful. You want them to have all the knowledge that they need. You want to, like Gordon said, you want to gain their trust. You want to make yourself an easy person to talk to so that they choose not to flee the situation. Most deals are lost in the first 15 seconds of this phone call because a lot of us want to run our mouth and we don't want to listen. Being a good listener is the key to talking to sellers and having them stick around with you instead of fleeing the situation. Now, what I'll do is just, I'll kind of do it off the cuff. I don't even have it right here with me, but I would like to go over a seller call with kind of with you guys, and something that I am going to say. Let's say I'm doing a driving for dollars lead. Okay. Let's say I saw a property, which by the way, can all be done in deal driven, where I saw a property that was in a distressed situation and I just going to call them out of the blue. How do I get that from an appointment? Would that be something you guys would like to hear tonight? Cool. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. All right. So it's going to kind of go like this. Okay. So seller's name is John. So we'll just start there, right? John, hey, this is Julie. How are you doing today? Oh, good. Actually, the reason for my call is the other day I was driving down Main Street and I saw this house that I believe that you own at 1735. Yeah, I own that house. How can I help you? Well, you see, I buy, fix, and sell houses, and I buy and rent them out. And John, whenever I saw yours, I mean, it's like exactly what I've been looking for. And I was just wondering, John, if there's any way that I could, like come out there and meet with you, take a look at the property, and make you an offer for it. Okay? You'll see on that initial call, I never, ever referred to myself as a real estate investor. What did I say? I say, I buy, fix, and sell houses, and I buy and rent them out. Because let's say, what if John drives a dump truck for a living? How do you think it's going to make him feel when I call myself a real estate investor? Do you think it's going to make him fearful that I'm getting a offer? What do you think? Do you think it's going to make him feel like I'm positioning myself in a different way? You're right. I also never say, are you the property owner of 1735 Main Street? I'm going to paint a picture as to why I'm calling, right? I was driving down Main Street and I saw this house I think you own at 1735, right? Yeah, I own that house. So you're getting, so what you're doing is you're having this conversation with somebody and leading them in the direction without causing them to flee the situation, right? So love, love, love making these calls. This is what we call outbound calling. Okay, so this would be like a cold call. So let me go ahead and pull up Deal Driven. And whenever you're using Deal Driven, you can find any property in the continental United States, including Hawaii now, where you can search for any property and skip trace to find the owner's cell phone number, right? And the only thing that's stopping you from setting that appointment is you and your abilities to call that individual and just talk to them about making them an offer. Remember how I told you guys that you're not trying to sell anything? You're not trying to sell anything. You're trying to buy something from them. You don't need to talk to people any different than if you were calling about their boat, their car, their four-wheeler in their yard, right? Any other different, in my opinion, way of doing it can be a little bit off-putting, and it can put them in an adverse situation with you, right? So that's outbound calling. We're going to cover a lot tonight, guys. So I'm going to try to get through as much as I can on a little bitty webinar. Because, by the way, at Partner Driven, where we work with you one-on-one, this is something like we talk about every day, okay? Where we show you exactly how to use our systems to find motivated sellers in the United States and market to them so that you can actually get deals done. That's the whole reason why we have Partner Driven, set up for you guys, right? Or set up for us and y'all. I'm not even going to lie. It's a thing for all of us, right? So when I'm in a property record, let's say I found one, like this is just a lead that I was looking at today. I like to be in list view. Oh, by the way, can everybody see my screen? Yes, great. Here's some properties that I was able to skip trace today, because using Deal Driven, I was able to pull a list of motivated sellers inside the city of Atlanta. Like this one, for instance, was a vacant, non-owner occupied property that recently had a mail change in the post office that has at minimum 40% equity. By the way, that's a super hot list. And you better believe I'm going to call these people, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the Owners tab. All I've got to go to do here is call these numbers. The numbers that I was able to find immediately using this app. So that's outbound calling. Now, I'd be remiss not to tell you about one tool. As Peter and I started doing deals, I can fair to tell you that we made more money through inbound marketing as opposed to outbound marketing. Now, when you're first getting started, outbound marketing it's more about effort than it is putting money at something, right? And it totally works. By the way, I do both. But I want to show you a little something this evening called, and probably you guys have heard of it, it's called direct mail. What's direct mail? Direct mail is an actual mailer with information that is pre-populated, that is sent to a list or sent to motivated sellers. By the way, you can pull these lists using Deal Driven, like at any time. And now with Deal Driven, guess what I can do? Yeah, you're right. I can send direct mail straight from here. Like, you guys have no clue what it used to take me to do this. I would go purchase leads from another source. I'd have to put them in an Excel spreadsheet. I would have to, go through that completely, upload it to another site. Let me show you how easy this is now. By the way, that's hours worth of work and thousands of dollars. Because just for $49 a month, You get up to 1,000 list pools. Yeah, 1,000 records. What used to cost me 8 to 10 cents a piece, you get up to 1,000 a month in deal driven by pulling these records. Now, let's say I want to send a direct mail piece to this Lemon Avenue. Okay, so all I've got to do here is go to start a direct mail campaign. Now, once I'm here, you'll notice there are several different templates, some of which, by the way, include an actual photo of the home. I mean, think about how blown away a seller is whenever they get in the mail and it's a picture of their house, literally on the direct mail piece. Do you think that's going to catch their attention? Yeah, absolutely it is, right? So you can use a Google image that can be added to this actual seller file, or the app is mobile, so I could take a photo of it and add it to that file as well. So right from here, I can pick from any of these added templates, right? So today I'm actually going to pick this final notice one. I like the final notice card. I just like it. It's worked for me. Peter, what do you think about that? Can you imagine that I literally just sent direct mail to that person?
Yeah, guys, let me give you like real life. We used to have, I mean, you could call it a direct mail like department. And for those of you that have done direct mail, you know that it's a process. I mean, you have to literally piecemeal things together, where you pull your list, how much you pay. You have to coordinate it with the mail house. You have to coordinate it with the right postcard. You have to learn how to keep sequence, because direct mail is not just like one postcard, one seller, and then you're done. You got to sequence them the right way. I mean, we literally, when we were doing direct mail ourselves, outside of the app, we had a whole direct mail department. Well, guess what happens when you have a direct mail department? You have an employee that has to monitor it, right? So you have salaries added. And the thing about direct mail, again, it's not like one of those things that you just send like one postcard, one seller, and then you're done. To do direct mail and have it actually work for you, you got to do it consistently and all that. So my point is, you can't escape this whole process that has to be put together over it. Whether you call it a department, whether you call something that you have to take an extra 3 to 4 hours a week compiling it, put it together. What Julie just did, and I know she went through it fast and it's like click, click, click. It could be argued that when we did this thing, this click, 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 literally right now, Julie probably saved like 20 minutes out of her life for just one postcard. Can you imagine when you were doing what we were doing? Like 50,000 or 100,000 a month. So yeah, I mean, it's just, remember, we're in this business not just to make money, but almost across the board, all of us that are in this thing to create a lifestyle. And a lifestyle is when you buy back time. So nobody gets in this business to compile direct mail and sources and resources and records and
Because it's so much fun, Peter.
yeah, exactly. I get, like, to me, I put this in a construction component. Like, I want nothing to do for it. And remember how you have to do mail merges and all that kind of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So what we're showing you is not something, what Julie's showing you is not only something that as an investor you should be doing. What Julie's showing you is how you could do what you need to do, but do it in a way that you have an incredible lifestyle along the way. So yeah, great stuff, Julie.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, and I want to kind of cross a bridge here with you guys in understanding direct to mail as opposed to outbound calling. Do you feel like it would be easier if a seller called you than you cold calling to a seller? Which, by the way, I'll tell you, I'm not saying that cold calling don't work. I just gave you my script. I showed you exactly how to do it. It does work, right? When Peter's talking about buying back time, when you send direct mail, what you're doing is that you're kind of hurrying, you're quickly, I'm trying to think of the words for that, shortening the time frame to deal, okay? But now you have motivated people calling you. instead of you calling everybody, right? So you went through your list, and it's like a funnel, and out comes the good stuff. So then it's your ability to continue to build a relationship, because honestly, if someone's calling you from direct mail, you still got to be all of those things that we talked about earlier, right? So it does speed up the process, okay? So this is just, one more thing. I'd be remiss not to talk to you guys about bandit signs, which I'm not going to try to sell you bandit signs because I don't have it anywhere on this site, right? But we're talking about marketing, right? For years and years, we did bandit signs. Bandit signs are little signs that are placed out that say something such as "We buy houses for cash," with a phone number. Still believe in doing that method as well. A lot of times, just because it's old school doesn't mean it doesn't work, right? A lot of these things still take effort. But I do want to go ahead and mention to you guys that I still definitely believe in that, because you still have an inbound person calling you from that lead, okay? Another thing tonight that I want to show you is something that just recently, actually, I'm doing this for myself, Peter's doing it for himself, is kind of another new way of marketing, okay? If you have deal driven, listen, if you don't got deal driven, I mean, come on, you should just have it because it's the coolest thing since sliced bread anyway, right? So you need deal driven anyway. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat right now, because I've got a free trial for you guys. I keep up with these free trial links. That way I can give stuff away to folks. So if you would like to join a free trial of Deal Driven, go ahead and click that link below. But I do want to tell you about another marketing piece. So does everybody understand what a Facebook ad is? Go ahead and yes me, right? So I know y'all going through Facebook and you see the little ads to where it's telling you about stuff, right? Imagine now having the ability to have your own Facebook ads. Isn't that crazy? So what if I told you that you could, anywhere in America, pick your area, right? Pick your area and say, I want leads in this town, and I want leads in this next town. And I'm looking for sellers to fill out this form so that I know whether or not, right? So I know whether or not they're motivated. Now, this is another source of outbound marketing, okay? I am currently using a company that I would like to refer. If you go to where premium features here, and you're interested in your own social media ads for your business inside of Deal Driven, this will take you to the company that I use for my leads. And let me tell you guys, I would not refer any outside company unless I use it myself, because I'll tell you this, I don't talk this and teach this without doing this. This business is something I do. I never really quite understood why people that, maybe teach this business wouldn't. Let me go back to sharing my screen here. I'm not really sure if you know how to find deals, why you would ever stop doing that, right? But if you're interested in creating social media ads for your area, go ahead and you can go right into Deal Driven and find that right here. All right, so I've went over a lot. It's so hard to kind of go everything into detail in a short webinar like this, but I hope you guys, did anybody get anything out of tonight? If it's no, that's fine. I'm a big girl, I got tough skin, but if yes, go ahead and give me a thumbs up or something in the chat or on Facebook. I really hope, this is, helping you guys out a little bit. But let me tell you something about marketing and about dealing with these sellers. We can talk about it. You can think about it all day long. But unless you start taking action every day, I mean like taking action, putting it on your schedule every day, you're never going to make money. This business is not easy. This is not a get rich quick scheme. What this is it is a way for you to make great money for the effort that you put in. That doesn't mean it's not a lot of effort. What I mean is the payout's big. But unless you take today and say, right now, I'm going to take action. And by the way, you should start taking action immediately if this is something you want to do. So much so, I encourage you guys right now. Does anybody got any time during their day to work on the real estate business? And if so, tell me how many hours you have. Do you have at least an hour a day to dedicate to your financial freedom in life and to this business? I'm seeing 3 hours. I'm seeing 2 hours. Guys, go ahead. Let's put it out there in the world. Things don't come in life unless we put them in the 2 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours. 1 solid hour. Great job, Erica. Great job, Lonnie, for committing, guys. Great job. All right. Here's the next step. You got your hours, right? Now what I want you to do, everybody's got a smartphone. I want you to go to your smartphone and I want you to start using your calendar. I want you to block off this time on your phone, on your calendar. Okay? Don't be abstract about this business and say, I'll play around with it for a couple hours a day. Be dedicated about it. This is just like any other job. Schedule it in your day. And when you schedule it in your day, don't do other stuff. Don't be playing on Facebook. Don't be texting. Dedicate, sorry, that's my dog Zeus back there in the background. Dedicate the time, okay? Take that time and be resourceful with your time. Put it in your calendar and be purposeful. Be purposeful in life on building your business, because let me tell you, you deserve it and your family deserves it. This is the first step, is taking action. I encourage everybody tonight to do that. I'm sorry, got a little passionate about it because I want all of y'all to enjoy the great things that I've been able to experience through real estate investing. You know, a lot of you don't know me, don't know your backstory. Hopefully one day you'll get to know me a little bit, but this business changed my life and I want the same for you. But make no mistake, it don't come easy, right? It don't come easy. Just be purposeful, okay?
Man, that was good stuff. Phenomenal. You know, and I'll tell you guys, this is my 2 cents on what you just heard Julie do. I'm almost glad she didn't go for a couple hours, because she can go for a couple hours. She knows that much. She's got different ways. But she gave everybody enough information to do something, okay? This is the way you got to do it. You know, I'm not one of those people that feels like, you know, you got to spend 20 hours learning, digesting, understanding. I'm more about snippets. Like, you take a line Julie used today, you take a strategy about, you know, how you should, like, how your mind should be in terms of, you know, are you trying to be a sleazy salesman or are you a solution provider? You know, you take one of these concepts, you take some of the things that she said, and you go utilize it. And guys, that's what we are here at Partner Driven. We feel like we have something to offer. We feel like we have something to give back. And this is why we're so passionate about our Partner Driven model, okay? So for some of you, well, I think for all of you, it's time to make a decision right now. Some of you guys are full-blown with us, and the decision is very simple. Reset, recommit, recharge, let's really do it, okay? That's the decision you got to make tonight. Like, you're all in, you're a partner, and you're just like, tonight was let's make this the game changer night, okay? Some of you guys are not with us in any capacity whatsoever. Well, you have one of two choices. One, we'd love for you to become a partner. Like, if you're like one of those people that like, I get it, I understand, I'm in, then you go to www.partnerdriven.com. By the way, the Deal Driven app, everything Julie talked about, that's all about being a partner. It's all included in there. You don't pay for anything else. Once you're a partner, you're like, as I call it, you're part of the family and everything's included. Some of y'all are not part of anything, but you're not quite ready to be a partner. You know, you kind of want to, like, you might have thought, well, that's an amazing tool Julie was demoing. I'd like to be part of that. And so there, and Julie, do you have a link up for that, or were we
Deal Driven? Yes, I got the secret.
Okay, so for those of you that
Link with the free
yep, want to test drive Deal Driven, that Julie, the tool that she's been demoing here tonight, if you want to test drive it for 7 days and then it's just $49 a month, you go to the link that is on your screen. Okay. Yes, you can purchase. You can start with Deal Driven first. That's all. Again, from us, it's no pressure. We like to give you options and then do something. So, but one way or another, make a decision tonight. Do something like elevate your game. Elevate by getting a tool you don't have. Elevate by partnering with somebody that you like been looking for because you don't have all the pieces that you need to get the business built. Elevate your game for those of you that are already partners and you haven't really done what you're supposed to do. And just use tonight as kind of a catalyst, a jumping stone to get to the next level. Either way, guys, it's time to make a decision. Okay. Don't let this be just another night that you logged in, listened, got excited, and then tomorrow nothing's changed. Let's use tonight as we're kind of, the one thing we've been seeing lately is all the SpaceX with Elon Musk everywhere. Let's use tonight as a liftoff, no matter where you are, as a liftoff to get to that next level, guys. Because we love Julie. Like literally, like an hour ago, Julie texts me. She's like, "Hey, let's go to Vegas, man. Look at that, Vegas. Go to Vegas." I mean, hey, we need more partners to play with and hang out with and have good times with. And, now that we're all finally getting out of the grips of this virus that's been made so many people homebound, we're ready to take some cool trips, see some amazing partners, and do some fun stuff. Remember, we're doing this for a reason, guys. We're not doing this to be handicapped by something. We're not doing this to be a slave to something. Like a job or a business. We're doing this for our freedom. That's why we're all in this thing business. We all want to be our own independent people, our own independent business owners, our own independent financial advisors, and be in charge of what we do. So let's do it. Let's get to those next levels, guys. You know what your options are. Let's go. Let's kill it together, guys. So Julie, I don't know if you have any parting words, but from my end, guys, we'll see everybody here again next week, same time, same place, different topic.
Well, the only thing that I would like to add is, I really was serious, guys, when I was talking to you about putting it in your calendar. Actually, I was already, fairly successful when I started doing that, but it's like literally changed my life. Get way of all the distractions, put your business in your calendar, make it like a job, and take action. That's what we want for you. Also, I like to say this at the end of these webinars. I'm going to slide it in. If you have the financial capability to support your local small business in your town, eat, dine, buy with your local businesses. But love you guys. Have a beautiful evening.
Thanks, guys.